This is the video presentation of the proposed orientation project for new international students on how to select appropriate local transportation service at the Syracuse University. These videos cover key points on performance problem, evidence of the performance gap, and how the gap is related to the lack of knowledge, skill, and/or attitude. Description of an overall instructional design and technology integration strategy that help close the gap. Flow of lesson and storyboard which outline instruction and how the instruction may help close the gap. And the project cost, implementation and evaluation. Performance problems for many new international students include inability to identify appropriate transportations, to use technology's applications, and to meaningfully interpret the information in the applications and printed materials to reach their destination. For some instances, many of them got the wrong buses and told the wrong waiting places and directions while online calling some transportation services and failed transportation requirements. These might lead to frustrating results, including waste of time and money, insecurity and safety, and stressful feelings that could negatively impact the quality of life and academic performance of international students. Against this backdrop, we are requested to design a practical 90-minute instructional sessions for the international students who are new and unfamiliar with local transportation system at the Syracuse to address their concerns during their transitional periods. Technology will be used to improve learners' outcomes through the theory and practices. Obviously, learners will use technology devices such as smartphone, tablet, or laptop to install online applications and use those applications to select local transportation for their intended destinations. The overall goal of this project is to orient new international students on common local transportation services available at the Syracuse University. At the conclusion of these orientation sessions, learners will be able to select available local transportations for local traveling purposes, use some common online applications and offline materials to identify local transportations to reach their intended destinations, accurately interpret information in the above online applications and other printed materials, describe necessary requirements of transportations. The development of this instruction consists of two parts, the flow lesson and storyboard. The lesson flow entails the instructional strategy. It starts from the presentation and goes through the real practices and debriefing activities. Each part of the lesson flow underlines specific new contents. For this 90 minutes instruction context, the project had constructed 5 storyboards, 1 for the introduction, 2 for the presentation, 1 for the practice, and 1 for the debriefing. The 5 storyboards bear similar features but contain different information based on types of activities. For instance, in the presentation stage, the storyboard helps remind the trainers on course titles, which is the orientation on how to select appropriate local transportation for the new international students. Activity titles, which is presentations. Instructional activity description, such as presentation of key contents and practical practice of contents. Activity outcomes, which includes, for example, student notes contents taught and actively participate in instructional activity. Resources required for the implementation of activities such as LCD projectors, pictures of public transportations and technologies devices. Key learning outcomes such as students know the features of public transportation service and names of online applications. The key contents points, which cover, for instance, different features of public transportations and names of applications. And note of activities that the trainer should do during the orientation session. For example, getting learners' attention and participation, showing different photos or pictures, and eliciting questions. We will be working with different key agents to implement this project. First, the large-scale centers to consult the project and prepare for its dissemination plan. Second, the graduate student organization or other student organization. The students' network could involve in this project implementation by sharing announcements to target audience, identifying and organizing the training venue, or facilitating the orientation. Last, the Syracuse University departments in charge of organizing academic events to ensure that these orientation sessions is included in their agenda. Improved learning outcomes will be closely monitored and assessed through formative and summative assessments. We will assess learners' progress by comparing the pre-test and the post-test results and through the ongoing assessment during the presentation and practice stages. The assessments will be made against the overall instructional goal and specific objectives. Some budgets need to be allocated for the successful implementation of this instructional project. Those include costs for producing a short demonstration of video used as a visual aid to demonstrate the application installation procedures, handout printing, instructional materials, refreshment, room renting, and facilitator fees.